Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Goodness Gracious. I am so happy that you have decided to join us today. And I just want you to know, I'm Jane, by the way, and I have the amazing privilege today of introducing you to and talking with Connie Merritt, this wonderful woman of God. She has agreed to spend some time with us today. And so we hope that you will enjoy this episode as we get to know more about Connie. So Miss Connie, I'm going to start off by asking you just kind of, where did you grow up? A little bit about just growing up and then working your way up through high school and marriage.
And life.
And life, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, first I want to say thank you. I'm your first.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I didn't know that. And, me. I was born in Van Nuys, California, out in the San Fernando Valley. And from there, my dad, after they got out of the Navy, both my mom and dad settled in Van Nuys around their families. And then he went to work for Douglas Aircraft. And then we started moving as he progressed with Douglas Aircraft, which became McDonnell Douglas.
Yes.
And then Boeing, which he went up the ladder. And so every promotion, we moved to a better neighborhood. And we ended up living in the South Bay, California. Redondo Beach, Torrance, Manhattan Beach, Palos Verdes Estates, Palos Verdes Peninsula, and then Laguna Hills. And I went to 3 different high schools along the way.
Oh, was that hard?
It was very hard.
Yeah.
Very, very hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it at the time. You know.
Sure. But
I just went with the flow. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. And I was the oldest. And from there, I just kind of grew apart from the kids, you know. We were only 2.5, 3 years apart. And I got married in 1967, and then my husband was just out of the Marine Corps, back from Vietnam.
Okay.
And then we moved several places. Ended up in Texas, owning a Sambo's restaurant, but you don't hear of those anymore.
No.
And then we ended up getting divorced. It was a very tough time in my life.
Yeah.
And
your family was still back in California.
They're all in California.
So you were in Texas by yourself.
I was the one that left California.
Right, got it.
And but I did go back to California after we got divorced. And I raised my kids in Orange, California, where our family business was. And I ended up meeting Tom after I had been single for like 14 years.
Yeah.
And I had been praying. I just gave up everything, just praying to God to send me a Christian man.
Yes.
Send a Christian man into my life.
Yes.
Well, he did. And I went with my best friend one night. She was meeting an electrician and to do some work on her house. And Tom came with that electrician. We went to a place called The Hop, owned by one of the Righteous Brothers.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was a fun place. We went for dinner. I went with her for dinner.
Sure.
And Tom showed up, and he had dinner, and then they had live music starting. So we were sitting there, and he and I just started talking. You know how Tom likes to talk.
Yes, I do.
God love him. And we were finishing each other's sentences by the end of the evening. And I knew, when he walked me out to my car, I knew I was going to marry that guy.
Oh, that is just the best.
So we've just been together ever since. And that was like in 1991, May of 91. We got married in February of 92.
Okay.
And when we got married, I have 3 sons.
Okay.
And he has 3 daughters.
It's the Brady Bunch.
It was. But it says his daughter stood up for him, and my son stood up for me, and we had a
Neat.
wonderful backyard wedding. Everybody came, family, friends, everything. It was the best day of my life.
Oh!
And we had, gosh, we went on a honeymoon. So anyway, we came back, started working from our house in Orange, and then we moved to Washington for a while. And from there, we ended up going to Bulgaria
Yes.
for
This
2.5 years.
This is pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
But
still.
yeah,
exciting.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures, a lot of stories. But that's for another time.
So just like a little summary of Bulgaria, what you were doing, just a little.
We went over, at first, Tom was approached to donate a computer to the American Bulgarian Lawyers Association that was formed over there. And he worked with an attorney upon going to law school back in California when we were living down there. And he donated, we went over, he went first and took the computer, and then I came a couple months later, and we got into setting up secondhand clothing stores there, because Tom, in another life previous to me, he ran secondhand stores in Long Beach. I forget how many stores he had. He had a real good business going.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was a nonprofit.
Sure.
And so we shipped a container. He and I went to Florida. We packed a container at Goodwill down there, Fort Myers, together with another gentleman in a forklift, and we packed bundles of clothing, shoes, purses, belts, everything.
Right.
And had that shipped to Bulgaria through Greece, and then they drove it up. That was exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway, when that was done, our stint there was done, we came home, and my dad had cancer at the time, so I came home and stayed with them, and then Tom came home, and we just stayed there, and then we were back.
Right.
And then we moved, after Dad passed, we wanted to live in around the area. My mom and Dad were in Canyon Lake, Southern California. So we wanted to live in between, because I had gotten a job, along with Tom, in Irvine.
Okay.
And we went to look in Corona, California.
Okay.
Bad word right now. Sorry. But we lived in Corona, California for several years. And there we started going to a Presbyterian church.
Yeah.
Which was wonderful. We went to church in Bulgaria too, but another story.
Right.
We started going to a Presbyterian church there. And we knew that was where we wanted to go to church. First Presbyterian Church of Corona. And lifelong friends we still have there.
Oh, neat.
And just dear, dear friends to this day. They're like our family, like this church
Yes.
is. I mean, Grace, when we drove up into the parking lot, Grace, we knew. It looked kind of like the church in Corona. The first Sunday we came in here, we knew we were home.
Oh. How long ago was that?
That was, gosh, a year ago, April.
Okay.
But we love this church and the people in it. You know, just fabulous.
So do we.
And we're glad to have you.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
Thanks. We're super
So
blessed.
excited
to be here.
But we're doing okay. I'm trying to back up a little bit. We now have, one thing Tom did not mention in his interview was that our kids,
Yes.
and now we're blessed to have 15 grandchildren,
Oh.
4 of whom are married, and 6 great-grandchildren.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
How exciting
Oh,
is that? Now,
it
where
is
are the
wonderful.
kids?
The kids now, oh my gosh. We have one son in Washington, and 2 of our grandchildren are up in the state of Washington. One's finishing up her senior year at Wazoo,
Okay.
and she's a cougar.
Yes.
And then They're up there. In California, we have one son and one daughter with their families, grandchildren down there. We have in Texas,
Okay.
we have a son, his wife, married daughter with a great-grandson there. And then in Florida, we have two daughters that are married there with two granddaughters there. We have one granddaughter in, what's his name? Minnesota. I couldn't think of Minnesota. And she has three of our great-grandchildren. And then one daughter who was in the Navy. She and her husband just transferred back. They're both in the Navy. She's out now, but they've can't come back to San Diego, and they have our great-granddaughter. First time we got to see her was on Mother's Day.
Oh.
On Zoom.
On Zoom.
Anybody, if you get the chance, use Zoom to see your family. I set it up on my computer. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It was wonderful. Oh man, it was the best.
Every time I think of Zoom, I think of that show on PBS 100 years ago. Come on and Zoom, 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 on Zoom. Come on and Zoom, on Zoom. Do you remember that show?
Oh.
Anyway, so tell me, when Jesus was real in the heart, loved the Lord, that.
Oh my
Tell me about
gosh.
that.
Well, I was always raised Lutheran. My mother's side of the family came from Norway, and all of us kids were raised Lutheran, and I raised my kids Lutheran, and but I always had Christian women in my life.
Nice.
From a real young age. No matter where we lived, God was putting these women in my life, and I learned so much. And for every stage of my life. But there were several times when I knew He was present.
Yeah.
And hearing me.
Yeah.
The day my son, one of my twins, they're 52 now, but when he was like 39, he called me and he said, "Mom, I have stage 4 ocular melanoma." I immediately dropped to my knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he beat it. He went through 5 different types of chemo to get rid of it. And he, bless his heart, he is the most positive, wonderful person. And he knows where all of that came from.
Yeah.
His health.
Yeah.
And so he's raised a lovely family.
Oh.
And, but, and different things like that. When my youngest son was young, I was heading to work, and he stepped out in front of my car. And I didn't know he was there. I was talking to the other kids, and I started the car up, and people were coming this way saying, "Stop, stop."
Yeah.
I ran over him.
Oh!
Not a T-shirt, not a mark on that T-shirt, nothing. There wasn't a mark on him. And I knew.
That was Jesus.
Oh, saved.
Oh,
child.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
To every step of my life, there's been different things, and meeting Tom.
Yeah.
Our wonderful family.
Yeah.
And moving here. And it's all been so well planned.
By the Lord.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Isn't
I wouldn't
that
have
wonderful?
Yeah. It's been a full life. I mean, it's not over yet, but
No.
it's been
Not for a long time.
No.
We're hoping.
No, I know.
We're hoping.
But
Not
it's
for
been
a long, long
wonderful
time.
life.
Yeah.
Between my family, I may be dealing with something in my brain, but that's just one little thing
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
There's so much to learn and
Yeah.
too much to share.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Wonderful. Well,
But
I'm just so glad that you were able to join me
yeah,
today.
it took some coaxing.
Yeah, it did. It did. And so
But it's not that bad. So
No.
anybody that has any trepidation about coming here and sitting, you can be.
I'm not scary.
She's not.
I'm not
She's
scary.
good.
Anyway.
She's good. And so is Michelle.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
today and getting to know Connie more. And we just hope, I just want you to remember that Jesus sees you.
Absolutely.
He sees you and He loves you so much. and we love you. And we were so thankful that you spent these minutes with us today. And I'm so thankful Connie was here. And
made it easy.
we just have a great rest of your week. And we love you. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you.